Sophie,
Yes.
you are now a host. You can open your slide for the first slide. Sophie, the session will start in like 5 minutes. Okay, the moderator for today is Dr. Nurhayati Abdullah. Join Zoom, join Zoom.
Ni. Already?
Already in.
I kan walaun. This is experience in Japan kan? Betul, NIMS?
Yes.
You know me.
Abang-abangnya anak-anak kat luar tu join.
Itulah tu. Botan kan dia.
Assalamualaikum, everybody. Hi, a very good morning to Sophie. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Doctor.
Hi. Okay, so how many people we have today? Okay, so we have some participants, and then my team members at UTM International. Please keep going. Please keep it going. Continue to make it viral that Sophie will be sharing her experience in Japan today at National Institute for Materials Science in Tsukuba. She was there in January until July 2020. And well, Japan is one of my favorite places. It has so many beauties, charms, and all the gems, you know. It will be fantastic to have the borders uplifted and to have COVID away for us to travel to Japan soon again. So without further ado, let us invite Saidatul Sofia from Malaysia Japan International Institute of Technology to kindly introduce herself and begin with her sharing on research experience in Japan. Please, Sofia.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yati. Can you hear me clearly? Is my voice okay? All right. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Sophia, at the same time, we need to get you to try and admit everyone to come in, if
Okay.
that's possible.
All right. Thank you for the introductions, Dr. Yati. Okay. And thank you to all the UTM international staffs for arranging this sharing session for me. And I would like to also take this opportunity to thanks to UTM and also MGIIT for the opportunity that had been given to me to experience my research internship in Japan. Actually, this is not my first time I went to Japan. This is actually my second time. So I am very grateful for the valuable experience, especially during the COVID-19. And if you had the chance to go for a research internship somewhere overseas, you should grab the chance because it really helps you to build yourself, your self-confidence, and also you will explore the new thing in you that you never know before. So I think it's very good for you to actually go there and do a research internship instead of just going there for visiting the place. So I would like to start with my self introductions. Okay. Okay, so about me, my name is Sadatu Sofia binti Masyarani. Currently, I'm doing PhD, 5th semester. I am from Malaysia, Japan, International Institute of Technology, MGIIT. So actually, this program, although I am from MGIT, this program is actually not only for MGIT students. It opens to all UTM students as long as you are a PhD student. So this program is actually for PhD students, but we do also have programs at NIMS for master students. So I will guide you when I come to that point later on. So my ICOSA or my lab group is CHECA. CHECA stands for Chemical Energy Conversions and Application. And my field of study is in chemical engineering. And my research topic is about membrane materials for battery applications. Before I went to Japan, I actually learned some
Hey, Sophie,
Japanese.
sorry. Sophie, you need to admit people. There are so many wanting to come in.
Okay, sorry.
Thank
I
you.
was still focusing on my presentation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Actually my level is just beginner level, so I don't speak good Japanese actually. Okay, so next. Okay, my journey to Japan is actually not that challenging. Unlike those who are doing their research internship in the European country, like for example, because they need to transit to quite a few places. But for us, if you were to go to Japan, you can actually take a direct flight. When I go to Japan, I use AirAsia from Kuala Lumpur to Tokyo. But then from Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur, I took JAL because it was COVID-19 and only JAL Airlines was available at the time. So the journey took me around 7 hours, 25 minutes. Like I mentioned before, this is not my first time going to Japan. This is actually my second time. The first time I went to Japan was actually at the same place. It was in Tsukuba, and I went there with my supervisor with 9 other students from my lab. So I had the experience traveling to Tokyo to Tsukuba Center. So from there, there are actually two options for you to take. You can take either Tsukuba Express or bus, but usually students will go by bus because it's a lot more cheaper compared to express train. So from there, it will take about 1 hour to get to Tsukuba Center. So at Tsukuba Center, I was picked up by the name staff. So this one is Yukiko Osawa-san. She's the one who actually helped me throughout the documentations and the applications process.
Done, boss. Done.
Hi, can you please switch off your microphone, mute your mic? Thank you. Yes, Sophie.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, so Tsukuba. Tsukuba is located in Ibaraki Prefecture. So Ibaraki Prefecture, I think it's not really famous for tourist attractions, but actually Ibaraki is located next to Tokyo Prefecture. So Tsukuba City is considered a new city to the Japanese because the age of Tsukuba City is around 40 years old. And Tsukuba City also known as Tsukuba Science City because in Tsukuba City there are a lot of top research institutions are located. I think to date there are about 31 research institutions, and among them are JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, and also National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology, AIST. So these two research institutions, I think a lot of undergraduate MGIT students went there. And I think it's a very good experience if you had the chance to go for your research internship. I would strongly recommend Tsukuba because for me personally, I like Tsukuba. That's why I went there twice. I think Tsukuba itself is a good place for you to live in because it's not that busy as in Tokyo. I don't like Tokyo. I just went to Tokyo once and I went there for airport. So I like a place where it's not that busy, not many cars. So I do enjoy living in Tsukuba and cycling around the city because the city is not busy. So um, in terms of tourist attractions, I'm not sure about that because it was COVID-19, so I didn't get the chance to explore scuba that much. But I went to some popular places, like for example, Tsukuba Mountain. Tsukuba Mountain is famous for its two peaks. I think in this picture it's showing the Tsukuba Mountain, and if you can see, there is a like a tall building here. It's actually JAXA. So I went to JAXA. Actually, JAXA is just located in front of my agency. So it's very near. The research institution is close to each other. And I also went to Ushikubuda. So Ushikubuda is one of the world's tallest statue in 2018. But now there are a lot of other tall statues. So Ushikubuda is considered among top 5 in the world. So I went to Ushikubuda during the summertime, so you can see a lot of flowers surrounding this area. So it was really beautiful. Actually, Ushikubuda to my place is quite far, but I went there by bicycle. So it was really a good exercise, and I strongly encourage you to follow my way. Then you can lose a lot of weight. Okay, and next is National Institute for Material Science, or in short, we call it as NIMS. So I think NIMS is quite popular among UTM students. I think many UTM students wanted to go there because um, NIMS itself is a top research institution, and it was listed as as number 40 as the world's most innovative research institution. Actually, NIMS is a government agency in which they are specializing in material science. So when we talk about material science, I think it's too broad, and as long as you can connect your research with any type of materials, then I think you can actually apply for a research internship over there. But to be specific, the fields of research that they are currently offered at NIMS are materials for energy and environment, nanoscale materials, and advanced key technologies. So NIMS, there are 3 sites. The first one is Sengen site. So Sengen site is the one that is closest to the researchers' accommodations. It just take you about 5 minutes of walking. Sorry. And the next site is Namiki site. Sorry, Sengen site is like a HQ. So all the main buildings are located at Sengen site. And Sengen site also is the one that is closest to Tsukuba Center. As for the Namiki site, it's about 2 kilometers from Sengen site. So usually I go to work by bicycle. So it took me about 15 minutes cycling to my office. And these are the pictures of the laboratory that they had in Sakura site, I think. So NIMS have Sengen site, Namiki site, and also Sakura site, 3 different places. But at NIMS, they provide you a free shuttle bus for you to go to Sengen site, Namiki site, and also Sakura site. And also you can also go to Tsukuba Center and also Tsukuba University by using the free shuttle service by NIMS. So actually, at NIMS, if you are a Muslim, actually at NIMS there are no halal food, but you can eat plain soba or udon, or you can also opt for vegetarian meals. But if you somehow get bored with the same menu, you can go to Tsukuba Center or Tsukuba University. So because there is a bus, you can go there, and at Tsukuba University, there are a lot of halal cafes for you to choose from. So if you had the time, just go to Tsukuba University and explore the place. But please be punctual because the lunch hour is only 1 hour. So if you have a strict sensei, then you really need to be careful with your time management. Okay, next. Okay, about the program. So the program that I was attached to is called International Cooperative Graduate Program, or in short, we call it as ICGP. So for this program, it only offered to UTM and also UKM students because we are partner. I'm sorry, because yesterday I got a lot of questions from other university students whether they can join this session. Of course, you can join this session, but for this program, it's actually specifically designed for the partners. So, but you can actually go to NIMS for doing your research internship over there, but you will need to apply directly to any supervisor over there. So for that program, you won't get the same benefits as what I've received. Usually, they will just give you allowance, but they won't pay for the accommodations. So accommodation is actually quite expensive in Japan. So if the grant allows you to have high allowance, then I think it's doable for you to do the research internship over there. But there is still hope, okay? Okay, for the program, for the ICG program, it's only for PhD students. The duration is about 6 to 12 months. But if you are happen to shorten your research internship period less than 6 months, you will need to discuss with your supervisor because Japanese are very particular about the time duration. So you will need to ask for the permissions from the NIMS president. And for the benefit that you will receive is the accommodation and daily allowance by NIMS. So I think the accommodation is very good. I would say it's very convenient. The apartment is very spacious. The facility is just perfect. So as a trainee, you don't have to worry about that accommodation. The accommodation will be paid by NIMS to the JST because JST is stands for Japanese Science Technology, if I'm not mistaken. So they are the one who provided the accommodations for the researchers, not only for NIMS but for other research institutions nearby. So for the daily allowance, I think it's more than enough if you don't cook every day. You can still eat good food like almost every day. And for the daily allowance, you will also need to pay for the what you call utility and also insurance. So for the insurance, it is compulsory for you to buy the Japanese insurance. So you have two insurance from Malaysia and also from the Japan. But I also receive questions from master students. You can actually go to NIMS, but you can apply under different programs. NIMS internship program, just type this keyword into the website and you'll see the brochure about this program. But for master students or PhD students, you can apply for this program if you don't want to go more than 3 months. Okay, but you will still receive the accommodations, but the allowance rate will be slightly lower from the ICGP because ICGP itself is the I think is the top program at NIMS. So this is the picture of me with other trainees that came together during my batch. So these two ladies wearing spectacles, Polish, they are from Poland. And this girl wearing cap, she is from Canada. So she is Canadian. Okay, next. Okay, so how to apply for the program? First thing first, you need to follow UTM Mobility Program Facebook page because they are the one who share all the programs that is offered to the students. So in my case, I was not planning to do any research internship, but my supervisor asked me to go at least once during my research journey. So I came across to this advertisement and I became interested to apply because I know NIMS is very popular, and um, you should also be aware of what are the benefits that is being offered by the UTM and also the host institutions. Like, for example, me as a student, I don't go for a program that, it says that self-funded or partially funded, because if you are living in a country like Japan, for example, of course the living expenses is very expensive. So I usually look for a program which offer full scholarships. So that's why I choose this program, because we didn't know that we are actually going to live in pandemic later on. So I think it would be very stressful if you have to fund yourself, and then the COVID-19 came, and you later on I will come to that point. So you will need a lot of money for that actually if something happens. So it's better for you to look for a fully funded program. But if you're rich enough, then you can fund yourself. It's okay. So the second step is you need to approach any researchers at NIMS. You can find the list of the researchers at Samurai NIMS Researchers Directory Service. But actually, to be honest, I skipped this step, which is not good. So don't do that. um, it happened to me that although I am MJIT students, I am very seldom go to MJIT building because I don't have any workspace over there. So one day I went to MJIT level 2 and I found a brochure about another program, which is at Kyushu. But if you enroll for that program, you will be attached to NIMS. So in that brochure, there are a list of samurai researchers, and I saw that my sensei, Prof. Izumi, he had the happiest smile among other researchers. Like other researchers, their face are very strict. So, and coincidentally, Izumi Sensei also his field is somehow matched with my field. So I put his name in my form without approach him at first. So that's why I said it's better for you to approach the researcher at first, because Japanese are very strict, and they have a lot of procedure for you to actually apply for the program. But it just happened to me that I accidentally missed that step, and I just straight away put his name in my form. So when he received the form from NIMS, he was very shocked, like, who's the girl? I don't know her. So he was like, he don't even know about the ICGP program actually, because I was the first student to propose him as my supervisor over there. So he don't have any idea what is ICGP and who is the girl was. So he sent me an email asking me why you put my name. Do I know you? What are you going to do in Japan? And so we had like a very long conversation over the email. But Alhamdulillah, my sensei is not like other Japanese. He's very calm. He's very soft. He is, he don't mind that I didn't approach him at first, which is actually very bad. I'm not a good example anyway. So he said that he somehow liked my CV, and he said that the reason I was actually selected because the number of applications that I had at the time of application. So I am not sure how much or what is the minimum requirements that you are required to have. In terms of publications, in order for you to get accepted. So, but it was just my result that I was accepted, and then my CC said that you're already accepted, but we need to go through phone interview just to check whether you can speak English or not. So at NIMS, there are a lot of foreigners actually, so you don't have to worry about your Japanese. But actually, it happened to me that in my lab, there are 99% Japanese. So they actually speak Japanese almost all the time. So during the phone interview, it was really straightforward because I used to study in Australia before. So he said that, okay, your English is acceptable. But they just asked me about my grading system because Australia used a different grading scale. So it was on scale 7. So he said that it's very difficult for them to convert, but if the grade is to be converted into the American grading scale, American grading system, then I should pass the requirement. So I think they also look at your degree CGPA. So you need to be careful of that. Okay. So after I passed the phone interview and everything, they sent me an official offer letter, and you need to sign. You need to send the offer letter to UTMI for approval, and then after you receive the approval, you will also receive a slide to guide you to the next step, in which you have to fill a form, and you need to send to HEP. So one of the form was actually a medical checkup, and also Wisma Putra. So at that time, because I'm a pure Malay, of course I did it last minute. So I don't encourage you to do that. You should complete the form as soon as you get the approval letter, because according to HEP staff, for the Wisma Putra form, it takes about 3 months to process. So, like I mentioned, during that time, no one knows that we'll be living in pandemic. So that is the reason that you need to notify Wisma Putra that you are actually living uh, somewhere or in Japan during the pandemic. So um, you need to submit the form as soon as possible. And then you will need to apply for visa, but this one you don't have to worry that much, because the ICGP staff will help you and guide you for the procedure. Okay, so this is my sensei, Prof. Ichinose Sensei, Izumi Ichinose. When we finished with all the procedure, it happened that he visited me in Malaysia. So that was his first visit to Malaysia. And actually, he didn't go to Malaysia purposely to meet me, of course. He just went to Malaysia because he was invited by UIA. So before this, he never had any collaborations with Malaysian university except UIA. So we met at MGIT. So when he arrived at MGIT, he was actually quite surprised to see Japanese character on the signboard. So he was like, he became interested to know more about MGIT itself. So to be honest, I don't know like the main core business or anything, but uh, lucky me that my supervisor is actually HOD. So my supervisor presented all of the MJIT background to him, and he became more interested to have me as his trainee, because he was taught that I can speak good Japanese, which is actually not true. Okay, so after his visit, then we proceed with the research internship in Japan. Okay, so of course there are challenges that I have to face during my research internship, and the first one is of course the language. Like I mentioned, my sensei thought that I very good in Japanese, but it's actually not. I don't speak good Japanese anyway. I've been learning Japanese like 2 to 3 years now, but I think my level is still at the beginner level, because to me Japanese is very difficult. And my sensei really encouraged me to use Japanese, because he was hoping that I can come back again to work with him next year, which I actually not plan to. Every time when he introduced me to his friend, to ask his friend to teach me, he will say just use Japanese because Sophia can understand Japanese. So every time when he introduced to me to his friend, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so dead because I don't understand Japanese. I do understand Japanese, but it's only limited to daily conversation. But in terms of research, it will be very difficult for me because it gets too technical. So of course, Google Translate became my friend, but usually Google Translate is not accurate at all. Be it Malay or English translation, if the sentence get longer, then the translation will get even worse. And I actually, before I came to Japan, I was really thought that I will be using English because we know that NIMS has a lot of foreigners. But as I mentioned, it just happened to me, the only trainee who used to speak Japanese, because all of my colleagues are Japanese. And when I came there, I was the only researcher, and the rest are research assistants. So in my laboratory, research assistants, they just carry out the research and they don't write papers. So that's why they don't learn English, because they don't have to write the papers. So as a researchers, me as a researchers, I need to carry out the research and also I need to write the papers. That's why I need to know English. So um, that's why most of my colleagues they don't speak English. But my secretary, usually she will help me to translate some of the procedure and everything. But in terms of research, she couldn't help me that much because she is not carry out the she didn't carry out any research. But then after a few months, there was a Malay guy, postdoc. He had been living in Japan for 6 years, so he speak good Japanese. So he became a translator. So whenever he is around, I feel a bit safe because he can translate for me. But
Okay.
most of the time, I get lost because before the COVID-19, actually, we had a meeting like almost every day in Japanese. And every morning, I feel so stressed to go through to this meeting. But somehow, at first, I feel that it's a very challenging for me because I need to understand the language, and at the same time, I need to also understand the procedure of the research. Because at NIMS, I actually carry out totally a new research, which is not related to my field because it was changed. So um, yeah, I feel so stressed, but somehow as time goes by, I managed to improve my Japanese skill, and I also had a private tutor to actually help me to translate. Because sometimes when I ask my colleague, they will also explain to me in Japanese. So to me, there's no point because the explanation is in Japanese. But at the beginning, usually people will avoid me because they are too afraid that they have to speak English with me. But actually, Japanese, they are very helpful. It's just that they also afraid to speak, English because to them English is very difficult. But for me, Japanese is very difficult. So both of us were in trouble actually. So usually when my sensei in the morning meeting, when my sensei asked one of my colleagues to teach me, the reaction would be watashi. So watashi means me. I cannot speak English, so I think Japanese are very responsible. So they are very worried if they teach me and they use Japanese and I don't understand. They will feel bad about themselves. So usually what they do, they will prepare a notes for me, but the notes is in Japanese. So I will be given some time to translate and digest the steps. And then during the real training session, we will just use, she will just demonstrate and we just use gesture, and sometimes we just use Google Translate and also dictionary to make me understand. Okay.
I guess that is quite common, Sophie. When in Japan, the Japanese people are a little bit, unsure about speaking in English, while
Yeah.
we are beyond unsure in terms of speaking in Japanese. So, yeah, Sophie, if we have some friends wanting to come in, can you please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, those who are here, if you see on the chat room, we have shared our Facebook Live link. And if you have friends wanting to come in, please share the link with them so that they can still join us live on Facebook of UTM International Kuala Lumpur. Okay, Sophie, back to you.
So the next challenge would be the season. Actually, when I applied for this program, I totally didn't consider about the season. I mean, I don't remember that Japan is a four-season country because usually I don't like winter. Because during winter I usually have a very big trouble with my skin. I usually have rashes all over my body, although I apply a lot of lotions. So I don't like winter. Mm. It's just that I don't like winter. So that will be challenging for me. And usually during the season transition, I usually get sick, like I had fever, very bad cough, and everything. So I think it's really depends on individual. So if you have a specific medicine, you might need to bring there. And also, that was the very first time for me to have my Ramadan during spring or summer. So subuh starts at 2. So before this, although I used to live in Australia, I never had my Ramadan during spring or summer. So the fasting period would be slightly longer compared to Malaysia during that season. Okay, the next challenge would be COVID-19. So during the COVID-19, the price ticket is super duper expensive. So it was before I go to Japan, I already bought my return ticket. That was AirAsia, but somehow it happened that AirAsia is not flying for international route because AirAsia is low cost air airline. Sorry. So the only airlines that is flying to Kuala Lumpur that was available at that time is only ANA and JAL, and both of the airlines offer um, the tickets at a very expensive price. It's about 12,000 to 16,000 just for one way. So I was really shocked at first because I know that Asia won't be flying. So how come I managed to to spend my money that much just to buy the ticket? So I was really nervous. I was panicked. I cannot sleep because I checked the ticket before I sleep, and I shouldn't do that actually. So at first, I contacted the embassy. I asked them if there are any um, rescue flight for students from Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur, but they said that they already did that in April. So it was in May when I realized that the price for the ticket is very expensive. So, but I wasn't planning to go back before my internship periods ends actually.
Sure.
So I asked UTM staff and MJIT staff for helps, and Alhamdulillah, um, the embassy contacted me and say that there is another options in which you can buy a return ticket because the return ticket at that time was about 3,000. So I just bought the ticket, although I might not be flying again to Japan next year. So UTM gave me 4,000 to buy the ticket, and Alhamdulillah. But before the during the COVID-19, before I went back to Malaysia, actually there was another problem in which our government changed the new SOP in which they required the Malaysian citizen to have their PCR results before boarding. So I had like 48 hours like during that time, and it was not possible for me because it was too last minute, and they don't actually specify the date for the new SOP to be applied. So as a traveler traveling alone, it creates panics really. So what did I do? I tried to find another passenger on Facebook, and apparently there was a guy, a Korean guy. He is a very nice guy. He is stranded in Korea for 3 months. So he created a Facebook as a support group for those who are stranded somewhere overseas to go back to Malaysia. So he keep us updated with the latest information. So all of the passengers who is traveling with the same flight as I am, we decided not to go for the PCR test because in Japan it's very difficult for you to get the PCR test because it takes 3 days for you to get the result, and the cost for the PCR test is around 3 to 4,000 ringgit. So it's very expensive. So that's why I said if you could find a program that can have a full sponsorship, then you should just go for it. Okay.
Sorry, Sophie. Somebody is on phone, and we can hear your conversation. So please mute your microphone. The audience, thank you. And yes, I couldn't agree more with Sophie on COVID-19 being a uniquely pushing factor for the increased pricing of flight tickets. So it has been very difficult. We have been through the journey with Sophie and also other students as well. in terms of securing that
Ini satu.
amount of reimbursement
Ha?
for her.
Satu
So we
0.5.
are glad that it's
Biliknya satu ke
you know.
0.5?
Sorry, I have somebody
Satu jam.
on the microphone.
1 jam.
Hello.
Satu jam juga. 1 jam 0.5.
Can you please switch off?
Ya, biasa ya.
Okay, you can mute. Yeah.
Tak share pun.
Sophie, can you try and mute this this conversation
Tak share.
from your laptop? Mute
Not
everybody.
sure. I think
Yes, you can.
I did.
You did. All right. Thank you. Okay, Sophie, back to you.
Okay, so I think I finished with my sharing, but I just would like to show some of the pictures that I took. So this is the accommodation. It calls Ninomiya House. So this property is belong to JST, Japanese Science and Technology. So this is the entrance. This is the view from the library. It's very nice apartment, and they got a library near to my unit, and also a very spacious bedroom and kitchen, so you can cook every day. And also there is a sofa bed in the living room. So actually this sofa bed, of course, you can convert it into bed. And actually they allow you to bring visitors to stay with you for free up to 3 weeks. So during COVID-19, no one visited me anyway, so so I was sad.
Oh, yeah. Because of the
My family
MCO,
supposed to
right?
come, yeah, and my friend as well. Okay, and Ninomiya also offer you a bicycle for you to rent. So I just rent a bicycle for 6 months, and it just cost me around 3,000 yen. So it's very cheap. So you can go and enjoy Tsukuba City by cycling. If you want to look at the video that I made, like a very short video about this quick tour around Ninomiya House, you can go to my YouTube channel. I think I wrote Ninomiya House as title. Okay, next is
You have a very beautiful house, and it's
yes,
huge. And the fact that you have a library next to your unit is so awesome. I love
yes.
libraries. Yes, I love libraries. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But if you were to pay for the rent, it's actually very, very expensive. Usually, PhD students, first year they will stay at Ninomiya, and then they will go to another
Go to
unit.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ninomiya House, this is paid for, right, by NIMS?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so accommodation is waived, people. So make sure when COVID ended, do apply for this attachment program. Okay, it's available on UTM International website. Okay, Sophie, back to you.
Okay, so this is the environments looks like at NIMS. This is my office, and they also have prayer room at the main building at Sengen site. Namiki site also has prayer room, but it's just like a room, so you need to take turn for you to pray. And I think I already showed this picture view from my office during spring and summer. So because it was COVID-19, so I just look sakura from my office. Okay. Next is about the food. Usually during the weekend, I go to restaurants to try Japanese food, and also that is the time I actually improve my Japanese skill anyway. So because I need to order the food by myself, and usually before COVID-19, I usually eat lunch with my office mate. Usually my office mate always cook for me. I also always cook for them. So we usually share our food. But if they were to cook for me, they will ask me for confirmation what kind of food that is suitable for me as a Muslim. So so these are some of the foods that I've tried. And this tuna ice cream with wasabi is the something new experience for me because um, I think it's kind of weird, but it doesn't taste that bad actually. So if you had the chance to try, you should try it. And then Japanese class at NIMS. NIMS offer Japanese class. Uh, the fee is very 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 cheap. Sorry. So But actually, there are not many students who actually enroll for Japanese class at NIM because usually they were very busy. But for you, if you would like to enroll for this Japanese course, which I highly encourage you to because it's very helpful, you will need to sit for a placement test and also phone interview to decide which level you can go with. So it happened to me that I know my Japanese is not that good, but during the phone interview, my sensei decided me to go into the advanced class. So in advanced class, they speak 100% Japanese. The explanation was in Japanese. So every time when I don't understand, my sensei just gesto, gesto. So I was like, okay. I already speak a lot during my office hour, and then I go for advanced class. So it was actually very difficult for me at first, but somehow I survived. And after we finish with the course, usually they will conduct a Japanese speech contest. So they don't have tests after we finish the class, but instead they make Japanese speech contest. So this is my sensei and my classmate. My sensei actually just started working at NIMS as Japanese sensei. Previously, she used to live in Malaysia for about 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. So when she saw me at first, she was straight away say, "You must be from Malaysia," because I've been living in Malaysia. So yeah, so actually my sensei is just started working at NIMS. Um, During the stay at home request, I had online Japanese class on the weekend with my Japanese sensei from Malaysia. Actually, this Japanese class at NIM was postponed for about 2 months, I think, because I think when COVID-19 came, Japanese people take some time to actually adapt with the online meeting and online classes. So instead of switching to online classes, they keep on postpone the class. So I think I cannot wait anymore because I need to use Japanese. So that's why I go for my private tutor from Malaysia, and we had online classes. And because during the COVID-19, MJIIT JLCC, Japanese Language Cultural Center from MJIIT also organized a program. So because I love drawing and I've been a drawing for quite some time, so I contributed weekly to this e-poster challenge during the MCO because actually the words that I share is usually used by the Japanese, and to me it was very interesting to use. So that's why I participated in this activity. So and whenever I hang out with Japanese, they will always teach me like just give me a quick lesson about Japanese whenever I hang out with them. So this is actually my translator. When I wanted to open my bank account, my name was too long, so they cannot go through with the system. So I need to write my name manually in the form uh, in Japanese character. So Alhamdulillah, at that time I already memorized the Japanese character, and since I live in Japan, I started to learn to write kanji. So I managed to write my name and my address by myself. So my trainees, my friends from other country always said that I will always be the center of attractions for the Japanese because I always make an effort to speak their language. So Japanese, when you try to speak their language, you will see somehow the double treatment. Okay, so try to make an effort to learn Japanese at least a bit, or like the basic thing. They will really appreciate that. Okay, so Raya in Japan, I just had like a very simple Raya celebration because we cannot go out during that time. I think the situation is just similar with Malaysia. So this is my attempt to make nasi impit with Khairul Amin style. And I also made some cookies to give to my clique. And of course, during Raya, we miss our parents. But actually, if there is no COVID, you can actually go back because I'm not sure, but I heard that before this, there was a senior who went back to Malaysia for Raya because maybe during that time, Japan has long holiday. So actually, you cannot do that. It would give a very bad reputations to the university. So don't do that because NIMS will charge you for the days that you leave Japan. I mean, you have to pay for the rent for the days you leave Japan. But if you want to travel to other profession, then it's okay. But you still need to inform the house staff. So because it's already stated in the agreements that you cannot leave Japan during your internship periods. Okay, so in summary, I would say that despite COVID-19, my experience was very valuable to me. I had a very good accommodations, very good laboratory and work experience, which I like the most. Because in Japan, everybody are experts to use all the machines because we were trained um, to to learn about all the machines. It's not that this one machine there is a PIC. No, everybody needs to know that. So most of the time their machines are very well maintained. So like if the machine breaks down, something like that, so the next day you can use the machines again. So because usually Japanese, they don't outsource their service. I mean, they don't use imported stuff. So everything was made by themselves, so they know how to troubleshoot the things. So for me, in terms of research, I don't have any difficulty. Everything went smooth. If you want to buy anything, um, the stuff will come to you at noon or the next day. So you don't have to wait. And then about the food, I enjoyed the food and also the transport. I don't go to anywhere that much, so I just use bicycle. So it was really a good experience because it is safe to cycle in Japan. And in terms of the Japanese people, I think they are just very helpful, even though they don't speak English, they will still help you in any way. Okay, so I think that is the end of my sharing session. So if you have any questions, you can email to me, sadatsofia@gmail. And if you would like to look at some of the activities that I did, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can find all the research experience, my research experience under this playlist, Sophia in Japan. Because I'm not planning to be a YouTuber anyway, so my video is just a very short video, like 1 minute. But there are a few activities that I actually shared on my YouTube channel.
Right. Excellent. So thank you to Sophie for a very nice sharing, bringing us to share her joy, her challenges, and then experiences in Japan at NIMS. All right. And she has her own YouTube channel. I'm really into it. And she has a very cute icon there with that chemistry resembling logo. So that's very nice. Thank you, Sophie, for your sharing. And thank you to everyone who has been with us throughout the session. And then, sorry. Okay, so, oh, Sophie, this is your video. Do you want to play the video or?
Yes.
Yes, okay, please.
Okay.
Ada betul yang tu? Sophie, we can't hear the music.
Sorry?
We can't hear the music accompanying the video. Is there any music for the video?
Yes.
Yes. I can't. We can't. Can you hear it? I can't hear the music. Sophie, don't mute yourself. She is not
Can
mute.
you hear it?
Okay, try again. No. Can't hear the music. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Can you try again, Sophie? Or shall we have to do without the music?
I'm not sure how to control the sound.
Okay. Okay, maybe if I may suggest for you to put in the link for the 2-minute video in the chat room, and then everybody can have a look at the video and then subscribe to
No need to subscribe.
on your
Because
subscribe
I'm
to
not
the
planning
channel.
to add more videos.
Okay, but who knows? Who knows? All right. So if you have any question, ladies and gentlemen, those students who are here with us today, please feel free to email Sophie. And I think in the next slide, I think we have some contact information, Sophie, in the last slide.
Yes, I did.
So sorry for the video. Looks nice though. And I really like your slide. It's really cute.
Yeah,
I mean,
myself.
it's befitting your passion in art and drawing. Okay, so everybody, please follow us on our Facebook, UTM International Kuala Lumpur Campus Facebook page, and we also have the main UTM International Facebook managed by our UTM International office in Johor Bahru campus. And I would like to thank everybody for joining us today for this sharing session. And thank you to Miss Adila and Miss Faz and her team and their team for hosting this event today. And congratulations to Sophie for completing your program amidst COVID-19, amidst the high price tickets, amidst everything. So those challenges are actually the things that made us grow, and those challenges are really beneficial lessons for us to proceed and promote ourselves in the throughout our academic journey. So we wish you all the best, Sophie, for your study at MPID. And thank you everyone for joining. You can rewatch the video via our YouTube live at UTM International Kuala Lumpur Campus Facebook page. Okay, so have a nice day, everybody. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Sophie. We meet you again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
coming to
you.
this session.
Have a good time. Sophie, can you please share, give me back my host ball, please. Thank you very much, my dear.
Macam mana bagi? How? Should I just end?
Sophie bagi dekat Alisa. So everybody, I need everybody to leave the Zoom right now. I will be the last one, please. Alisa, give me back my host ball. Ali Salman. Aduh, Ali Salman. I'm sorry today we forgot to take the group photo. And our vice chancellor, not the vice chancellor, vice president Jamila is here. Hi, how are you? Hi, Jamila. How's Sri Lanka, Jamila? Yeah, I cannot hear you, but it's okay. Oh, so everybody please leave. Hello, Ali. Ali Salman, please leave. Ali Salman, you got the host ball. Can you give me the host ball as the admin? Just not clarity.
Sebab Sophie dia hantar saya ball host tu. So kisahnya sekarang ni.
We don't want to leave.
Ali Salman tu jadi host.
You have to leave.
Leave. Ali Salman, are you there?
Saya ada lunch MC dekat
Oh,
Mandarin Oriental.
okay. Patut macam rushing.
Ni sekejap
Ya,
saya.
but not rushing.
Betul, backdated.
Nanti
Betul.
kakak nanti.
Ini tujuannya untuk claim.
Okay. Ali Salman.
You explain tadi.
Yes,
Tapi tu
Mr. Azim buat.
dia punya atas.
Betul.
Betul. Tak selfie ambil gambar kan? Jom. Kita pakai selfie.
Ya, Mr. Azim. Leave.
Boleh Azim datang ini?
Boleh betul.
Azim.
Azim come here.
Azim.
Ya. Dah.
Ni lah.
Okey, kira dah. Okey dah.
Okay.
Okey.
Azim, when you wanna leave? I'm waiting to be the host back.
Okey. Oh.
Sabar. Yang tak sabar saya sabar.
Saya join sebelah.
Ali Salman. Oh, Ali Salman.
Hello.
Ali Salman don't hello. Leave. So I can get back my host. Ali Salman.
Dengar. Cik Azam nyanyi.